Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Stories 101. I'm your host, Sid. Today's story is a little different. It's not about big adventures or dramatic events. It's about something quiet, something we sometimes miss until it's too late. Have you ever had someone in your life who loved you deeply but never once said the words? Today, my guest Maya is going to share a story about her father, a man who never said, "I love you," not even once. But what he did instead will stay with you. Maya, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Sid. It means a lot to share this.
Let's start at the very beginning. Tell us, who was your father?
His name was Robert. Everyone called him Papa. He was a quiet man, very quiet. He didn't talk much, not at home, not anywhere.
What is he like as a father when you were young?
He was present, I guess. He was always there, but he felt far away at the same time. He never hugged me, never said, "I'm proud of you." As a child, I didn't understand it.
That must have been confusing, having someone there but feeling alone.
Exactly. I used to think he didn't care. I would watch my friends' dads cheer for them at school events. My papa just stood at the back, quiet, with his hands in his pockets. I felt embarrassed. I felt invisible.
Did you ever ask him about it? Did you ever say, "Papa, do you love me?"
Once. I was maybe 8 years old. I asked him directly, "Papa, do you love me?" He looked at me for a long moment. Then he just said, "Go eat your dinner." That was it.
Oh, Maya, how did that make you feel?
I cried that night. I told myself he didn't love me. I believed that for a very long time.
So what happened as you grew older? Did things change?
Not really. We lived in the same house, but in different worlds. I was 15, 16, the teenage years. I was angry a lot. I felt like he didn't see me.
Were there any small moments you remember from those years?
Pause. There were, but I didn't understand them then. I remember one winter, I had a big school exam the next morning. I was stressed. I couldn't sleep. At 2 in the morning, there was a cup of warm milk outside my bedroom door. No note, nothing, just the cup.
And you think that was him?
It had to be. My mother was visiting her sister that week. There was no one else. But I didn't think much of it at the time. I just drank the milk and went back to studying.
Looking back now, that moment means something very different, doesn't it?
Everything looks different now, Sid. Everything.
Tell me more. Were there other moments like that?
Yes, so many. I had an old bicycle I loved. One day the chain broke. I left it in the yard thinking I'd fix it later. 3 days later it was fixed. Oiled, cleaned. Perfect. I asked my mother. She said she didn't know anything about it.
Papa again.
Papa again. But he said nothing, didn't even mention it. I said thanks at dinner that night, just casually. He just nodded and kept eating.
It sounds like his love language was actions, not words.
That's exactly what it was. But when you're young, you want the words. You need to hear it. Actions felt invisible to me.
So when did things start to change? When did you start to see him differently?
When I was 22, I moved to another city for work. It was my first time living alone. I remember the day I left. Papa carried my bags to the car. He didn't say goodbye, not properly. He just patted my hand twice and walked back inside.
Patted your hand. That's it?
That's it. I was so hurt. I cried the whole drive. I called my mother from the road and said, "He doesn't even care that I'm leaving." She went quiet. Then she said, "Maya, he didn't eat anything after you left."
Oh.
He didn't eat for the rest of that day. My mother told me he sat in my empty room for an hour, just sitting there, alone. But he never said a word to me about it.
That image of him sitting in your empty room, that's heartbreaking.
It broke me when I heard it. It really did. I started calling home more after that. And sometimes when Papa answered the phone, I'd hear this relief in his voice, just for a second. Then he'd say, "Hold on, I'll get your mother." Classic.
Classic. Did you two ever get closer? Did the distance between you ever get smaller?
A little, very slowly. I came home for a holiday. I was maybe 25. One evening, he and I were sitting on the porch, just the two of us. He was looking at the sky, and I thought, this is the moment. I'll ask him again.
You asked him again if he loved you?
I didn't ask directly this time. I said, "Papa, are you happy I came home?" He thought about it for a moment. Then he said, "The house feels right when you're here."
The house feels right when you're here. Wow.
For him, Sid, that was everything. That was his "I love you." I just didn't know how to hear it yet.
And then I have a feeling this story takes a harder turn.
Take a breath. When I was 28, Papa got sick. Heart problems. It happened quickly. Within a few months, he was in the hospital.
That must have been terrifying.
I moved back home immediately. I would sit with him every evening in the hospital. We still didn't talk much, old habits, but I would hold his hand and he would let me. That was new. He let me hold his hand.
Something had shifted.
Something had. He looked at me differently, like he wanted to say something but didn't know how. I waited. I kept waiting. He never said the words.
And then he passed away.
He passed away on a Tuesday morning. I wasn't in the room. I had just stepped out to get some water, and when I came back, he was gone. I never got to say goodbye, and neither did he.
I'm so sorry, Maya.
The hardest part came later. When we were going through his things, his small wooden desk drawer, I found a notebook.
What was in it?
He had written in it, for years, dates, small notes, things like, "Maya got her exam results today, top of the class, good girl. Maya's bicycle was making noise, fixed it. Maya called today, she sounded tired, I hope she's okay. Maya leaves tomorrow, house will be quiet."
He was keeping track of your whole life.
Every small thing. There were pages and pages. His handwriting was small and careful, and on the very last page, near the end when he was already sick, there was one line.
What did it say?
It said, "I hope she knows."
Oh, Maya.
3 words. Not "I love you," but "I hope she knows." He spent his whole life hoping I would understand, and I almost didn't.
But you do now.
I do now, and that's both the most beautiful and the most painful thing I carry with me.
Maya, thank you. Thank you for trusting us with something so personal and so precious. And to everyone watching, this story teaches us something important, something we all need to remember. First, love doesn't always come in words. Some people show love through small, quiet actions. A cup of warm milk, a fixed bicycle, a notebook full of dates. Second, don't wait to understand someone. Ask questions. Look closely. Notice the small things, because sometimes the small things are everything. And third, it is never too late to say, "I love you." If there's someone in your life right now, a parent, a friend, a partner, someone quiet, someone who struggles with words, go a little closer, look a little harder. Their love might be right there, waiting to be seen. Now I want to ask you something. Is there someone in your life like Maya's father? Someone who loves quietly? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you're new here, welcome to English Stories 101. Hit subscribe so you never miss a story. I'm Sid. Take care of the people around you, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope she knows.